Okay. Hey, so guys, we've just gone through thinking about this stuff a little bit different. Thinking about the fact that it's not just what you make, it's what you keep. How heavy are you in these tax deferred accounts that are preventing you from being really able to understand, how much of those investments are going to be yours? And so we've gone through that conversation now. And for many of you, it's been questions about what can we do now? How can we think about risk management and how can we reposition assets? So Pedro, I wanted to see first and foremost if you had any thoughts. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. If you had any thoughts that you wanted to add as well to that conversation for a sec.
Yeah, I guess, guys, I would just, first of all, good morning. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are learning a bunch. And as I kind of started out the week talking about the unconventional path, like remember that first day we talked about this is going to be an unconventional path. How many of you guys these past 4 days have been pretty much the opposite of what you've heard your entire life? And like, I kind of told you that was going to happen on day one, but then it actually has happened now. And you're like, oh man, like he wasn't kidding. So I guess the first thing I would say is this. We've given talks and seminars and lectures to literally, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And the first thing I will tell you is sometimes it can feel a little bit not amazing when you discover and learn new things that you've been doing for the last 5, 10, 20 plus years. How many guys are you're like, this doesn't feel great. Like, why am I hearing about this now? Like, I am 60 years old. I'm 65, I'm 50, I'm 40. You're like, So there can be that initial little bit of like, just dang it, like, and so at the end of the day, I want to acknowledge that. That's a natural feeling to have anytime you learn something new. Now, when you're never going to grow, advance, and move forward in a negative mindset and out of frustration. The fact is this, at least now you know. Now you know. And Rami and we have literally helped thousands and thousands of people begin to shift and make pivots and begin to redesign their financial lives based on better information. Okay. So if you have been faithfully plowing money into your 401k, don't feel bad because you have money saved somewhere and that is real money. And Rami can help you do great things with it, protect it. And like, better to have money saved in a 401k than to have no money saved at all. Okay. So let's not get, don't forget the fact that if you have money put away someplace, sure, maybe you have a little bit too much money there. Maybe it would have made sense to put a little bit more someplace else. Maybe, but at least you have habits of saving. At least you have habits of thinking about your future. You have good habits if you have money saved. Now, all we're going to help you do is be more strategic, a little bit more wise, and maybe help you make the best choices with what we call your old money and help paint you a path to what's the best next steps now with any new money, new dollars that you want to save and build your financial future on. Okay. So don't, you know what I mean? Like, just make sure that you're embracing this new wisdom and information from a place of like, hey, you did the best you could with the information that you had. And now, in the last 4 days, I believe you've been provided the absolute best available information. And not just information, also, we believe the most empowering perspective to think about your life and your money. How many guys would agree with that? Okay, so cool. So guys, now it's about moving forward. Now it's about, okay, Pedro, okay, Rami, like all of what you said makes complete sense. It absolutely, and it not only does it make a logical sense, but a lot of our clients have just said it actually made sense in their heart. It made sense in their spirit. Like it made sense here, like, okay, this just actually feels right. Okay. So the question is, what do we do now? And the fact is, every single one of you have different scenarios. Some of you have a bunch of money put away in 401ks, 403bs. Some of you guys have pension plans you've been investing. Others of you don't have any of those things. Some of you are somewhere in the middle. Some of you guys own real estate. Some of you guys don't. Some of you guys own companies. Some of you guys don't. Every single one of you is in a different situation. Okay. So the absolute best thing for you to do now, in my opinion, which is to stay in this positive momentum that you've been learning these last 4 days, but now, just if we can be honest, some of you have actually more question marks now than maybe when you started. How many of you guys are in that boat? Because before you kind of maybe thought you had it figured out, and now you're like, oh my God, right? So now it's like the big question is, okay, Rami, Pedro, what do I do now? What do I do now? How do I actually, what is the right path for me? Do I keep putting in my 401k? Do I stop putting in my 401k? Do I roll my 401k over? Do I leave it where it's at? Do I, you know what I mean? Should I be looking at investment real estate or not? Like, so now it's time to actually make sure that you guys are able to personalize this. You've been given information, you've been given perspectives, and now it's about, okay, what does that look like for me, Bonnie, for me, Paulo, for me, Phil, right? Because remember, this financial conversation is only relevant to you and your life. You should not care about what's best for anybody else. You shouldn't, I don't think there's any value in learning about financial stuff just for learning's sake. Unless you want to be a teacher, a professor, unless you want to join us and work with us in the company, learning about finances for knowledge's sake, to me, is like, no, don't do it for that. Do that to actually help you live the life you want to live and be a master of your finances and create the life you want to have. So what Rami and I have come up with is a way, and it's the first time we've ever done this before. Typically in the past, what we would do at this point is just invite people to get on our calendar. We'd invite people to schedule an appointment with Rami or someone at our firm to help you personalize that. And the fact is, we have served so many people doing that. However, what we now see is a much better opportunity. Is we're going to still provide opportunity for those of you that want to now meet with Rami or train professionals at our firm who know all of these strategies and can help you personalize this. But we're going to keep this educational theme going forward. And for the next 4 weeks, okay, we're going to invite you guys into a 4-week deeper dive where Rami and myself are going to go live twice a week and start to go deeper into these conversations. And we have a week-by-week training schedule, week by week for the next 4 weeks, to really take this information, really think about this week was a primer. This week was basically just a wake-up call to a whole nother perspective and set of information that most of you never even knew was available. This week was about opening up possibilities, but we haven't had enough time to actually really teach and train and get this inside of you. So for the next 4 weeks, starting on Monday, okay, we're kicking off the Retired and Free Masterclass. And that's also going to involve being able to get personalized appointments and working with one of our trained, retired, and free advisors one-on-one, okay? We've never done this before. We've only pretty much offered appointments to work with our individual, agents and advisors. And the challenge with that is it doesn't really give us enough time to actually really, really teach and train the concepts at the level that I think we now deem necessary, because we really want you guys to have that level of financial certainty and really own the decisions you're making. And what we've seen is that 3 or 4 appointments, which is way more than most our other peers do. Most of our peers are, 1 meeting, 2 meetings, and they're making you, recommendations to do this, buy this, do that. We go well beyond that. Most of our clients are having 3, 4, 5 meetings but there's another level of financial wisdom education that we want you guys to have. So for the first time ever, we're opening up the Retired and Free Masterclass. You guys can take a look and take advantage of that at retiredandfree.com/join. If Holly, you can put that in the chat. And because it's the first time we're doing it, guys, this is going to be a $997 program that we scale and roll out in the future. But for this first kind of inaugural, challenge here, which by the way, we did not run any paid traffic to. This was a challenge that we only offered exclusively to people who are already part of our Crush It with Challenges world, part of our 100X world, or somehow already were on my email list and have had some exposure to myself and or Rami, because we wanted to give you guys this first opportunity to join this program for the first time ever. We wanted to really go deep, serve you guys well, and give you guys an incredible value for doing so. So again, if this has really kind of lit something inside of you, a hunger to really understand your money and finances at a deeper level, and you want to go deeper in both learning this for yourself, but getting a coach and an advisor and to also walk you through it to make sure that you're making the right distinctions, we'd love to invite you to join us for these following 4 weeks starting on Monday. And that's at www.retiredandfree.com/join. And we're going to have that opportunity available and open through today, through tomorrow, through the weekend, but we are going to be starting on Monday. And so I think, Rami, that's what I wanted to share with everybody today is that this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning if you choose it to be, and not to be discouraged about maybe steps you've taken prior. Some of our best clients that we've been able to help the most were people who were very much committed to maybe more traditional savings vehicles. And with a few pivots, we were able to really kind of create some really special things for them. So that's what I wanted to cover. Anything else, Rami, you want me to speak to?
Yeah, guys. And so why I'm excited about this specifically is 2 reasons. We've done these, like Pedro said, workshops in the past where we would say, okay, guys, if you want to learn more about these strategies, go ahead and book a no obligation 90-minute consultation with us where we can now talk about this one-on-one as it relates to you. There are different ways to look at risk management, to look at growing funds on a more tax-efficient basis, but that's where it's specific to you. And so you guys are all still going to be able to do that. Guys, if you go to that link, you're actually going to be able to book a 90-minute consultation with myself as right in front of you as your advisor or one of our core financial professionals who work here at our firm. And so you're going to get a chance to now get some one-on-one time, taking a look at where you are right now. And that's extremely important because that's how you start to make better decisions and see how we actually educate our clients as we're working with them so that they're the ones in the driver's seat. But what I've seen over and over again is I've talked to my clients, they've asked me about this for their kids, for themselves, for their friends, which is how could we learn more about this, kind of like a university, like a class that we could go through. And so what I wanted to do was, even if for those of you who are actually using that link right now, guys, you're going to be able to get on my calendar for that 90-minute consultation as well as one of the core team of financial professionals here at our firm, guys. But this 4 weeks that starts on Monday, it's going to be Monday and Wednesdays, where we're going to take 90-minute sessions, guys. Week 1, we're going to cover building strong financial foundations, just to give you guys a heads up on how this is going to be structured. We're going to take a look at asset protection and building strong financial foundations, right? So we're going to talk about protecting assets. Week 2, we're going to go into asset growth. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite strategies so that you're learning not just in an appointment where you're being recommended strategies, guys, but you're actually learning now how to actually grow assets, the different strategies as it relates to the market. One way to index the market using caps, one way to look at this from a mitigation standpoint with portfolios. Guys, the difference between mutual funds and index funds and how to reduce your fees, what questions to even ask. I've had so many clients after that session be able to call Fidelity, call their institution, and ask about the admin fees, the 12B-1 fee, things they didn't even know to ask to find out exactly what they're being charged, okay? Week 3, we're going to get into a little bit more of the income plan, financial drafting, and tax strategies. And so you're going to see now what we talked about today with that. And by the fourth week, guys, we're going to be talking about enhancing your assets and estate planning so that you guys are protecting the assets that you already have established and that you are going to be establishing. And you're putting them in the right position for your kids and for your grandkids. That's going to be important because that's a big deal. And some of the things that you've heard us talk about, guys, the reason this is so important is because what you're going to have happen by that fourth week is you are now the most empowered person in the whole financial conversation. You actually are in the driver's seat now of your finances. So many times I hear people ask me, Rami, can you recommend me a book? What about this course? Do you think this is a good real estate course for me to go buy? And they're buying courses looking for the silver bullet. And I want you guys to slow down and now start to actually be able to do this yourself. And so this is a lifetime access, guys. You're going to get added to the Facebook group right away, our Retired and Free Finance Masterclass Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group where I'm going to be in there live, guys. We're actually also going to have some really cool bonuses. There's a guy that you guys are all familiar with by the name of Pedro Dale, who happens to actually have a very deep level of expertise and knowledge in real estate. So you're going to get a chance to hear about how Pedro and Suzette, when I met Pedro and Suzette, they had done over 150 flips just themselves as husband and wife. And he was a real estate expert who had done pretty much any kind of deal that you could think of. And so you're going to have a real estate class from Pedro on real estate as an asset class, the different types of strategies there. I'm going to also be talking
Hey,
about...
Rom, let me jump in on that. So I've done this once, guys. It was part of an 818 challenge I did like maybe over a year ago. I ended up doing a 3-hour training on how to invest in real estate. It was supposed to be like 60 minutes. Literally, it was like a 3-hour. And we had people say in those 3 hours, they had learned more about how to invest in real estate, and not just because I went through every single way you can invest in real estate, from wholesaling, which requires no cash, no credit, to flipping, which requires, which is a different process. Wholesaling is where you just basically, you never even own the property. Flipping is where you own it very quickly and do some renovation and flip. To cash, to buy and hold, how to cash flow properties as a landlord and do that. Then we talked about commercial apartments and strip malls. Then we talked about, being how you can actually be a lender and be in the real estate game on the debt side. It was like a 3-hour deep dive masterclass. And guys, I've done all of these deals. Well, there was someone who was in the 818 who had spent $75,000 with one of these guru real estate companies. And it's like, Pedro, I'm literally in tears right now. I learned more from you in 3 hours than I did in that $75,000 real estate guru program I got swindled into. So guys, like if you have any interest in learning about real estate whatsoever, that one bonus training is literally, I see things on TV, oh, come to my boot camp and come to my hotel, learn how to flip homes. Like literally that one bonus is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Rami's right. My wife and I have flipped over 150 houses, all for a profit. We've never lost money in a flip. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys all about the real estate business, which, by the way, is probably going to get very interesting soon. I don't wish harm on anybody at all. But there's a lot of people out of work. And I don't think we've even seen the beginning of the, I don't even think we begin to see a tiny smidge of the impact of the shutdown on the main street. Like there was some stimulus checks, there's been this, there's been that, and yet like eventually this huge disaster has to ripple through the economy. And so I think there's going to be lots of opportunity again in the real estate space. And so this would be the right time to get equipped to figure out where in the real estate game do you want to play, if at all. But there's going to be opportunity there. And that's not, and so I think that's something that is going to be very intriguing for any of you guys that have any ambition whatsoever in real estate. Real estate is one of those asset classes, guys, that just does it. Real estate has advantages to it because of how much leverage it has. That you just can do things in real estate you can't do in paper assets. And of course, as Rami probably showed you, just like with business, being an entrepreneur, there's things that there's things that a business and entrepreneur can do that you simply can never do in paper assets. The level of growth you can have as an entrepreneur and business owner. Guys, many of you I know some of you guys are new to me, but if you've even just seen my life in the last 2 years, in the last even 4 months, there's things we've done as a company in the last 2 years that I could have never done saving for 40 years, right? And so if you really want to collapse time with your wealth building, real estate and entrepreneurship, those are the two most proven paths. Now, if you lack wisdom and you make mistakes, you can also, you can get hurt. And I've been hurt in both of those industries. So as you guys know with me, I'm not going to just tell you all the cool things I've done and show you all the right ways to do something. I'm very, very transparent about here's the mistakes I made along the way to make sure you guys also don't hit those pitfalls either. Okay. And so I'm super excited about actually really unpacking what it looks like to be an entrepreneur and to build businesses as a wealth building vehicle and really unpack all of the real estate wisdom I've kind of just put on the shelf for the last, I would say 6-7 years, because it really hasn't, in my opinion, been much to do. But I think those times are changing. So I just wanted to speak to that. And that's a bonus when you guys join the masterclass.
Okay, guys, just to make clear, there's a couple questions in here. Number one, this is a one-time $497 offer, $497, guys. Most financial planners are going to charge $1,000 to $2,000 for a financial plan that goes home with you in a binder. It's going to sit on a shelf.
It's totally outdated the minute you get it home because all the assumptions are changing. As soon as the ink dries, it's pretty much not worth much.
And that's it. Someone made the comment, and exactly that, guys. I want you to be the most empowered financial mind when it comes to your finances. And that's what this class is going to do. Yes, you are going to get the 90-minute session where we're going to be able to get a little bit tactical from a time standpoint, because some of you do have investments positioned in the market and you really should be looking at risk management and understanding what your options are. So you're going to be able to take advantage of booking an appointment right away. And we're going to be able to sit down and start to think about things that are specific for you. But more important than that, you're going to be able to trust but verify. Not just why are these the recommendations that Rami and Paige or our team talking about? What are the pros and cons? How does this fit my financial life? What are my other options? That's the empowerment that will happen, guys, over the next 4 weeks. It's $497, so one-time payment, and you get lifetime access to that, guys. So you're going to get a private member site. We are going to roll out $997. So you guys, though, right now, because this is the first Retired and Free Masterclass, you guys are the first graduating class 4 weeks from now. You guys get to get access to it for $497 between now and Sunday night. So guys, take action on that. Monday is when the class starts. If you're outside of the U.S., this is still impertinent information to you, Mary. So if you're outside of the U.S., guys, you're still going to want to go through this class, because the only thing that's going to change for you, we're going to talk about certain vehicles. The vehicle names and acronyms change in these different places, but much of the principles of wealth building of these asset classes are the same everywhere. You can invest in the market in any place, in real estate in any place. Your marketplaces are going to be a little bit different. Okay, guys, and so that's going to be
Monday. Yeah, Rami. The only thing that we can't, if you're international, the only thing that so if you're in the U.S., we can go with you the entire journey, right? We can provide you education. We can actually do the one-on-one design, strategy design, and then we can actually then help you implement, right? Because we're licensed and here to do business in the U.S. Okay, for the full spectrum of options, whether it's on the advisory side with stocks, bonds, mutual funds, whether it's on the guaranteed side with the insurance-based products, and the real estate side, right? I'm a real estate broker, And so like if you're in the US, we can take you all the way through actually implementing the strategy, helping you pick the right products and getting those. If you're overseas, then what we'll do is we can make sure you have the best plan, best design, and then we can even help you make sure you get a local agent or advisor in your country who sharp, understands what we're up to, gets the plan, and can help you implement, because there's no such thing as a global international license to do what we do in other countries. But we'll get you all the way kind of, to that point where you'll be able to actually know what you're looking for. So you can actually make requests and, as opposed to just kind of being at the whim of the recommendation.
And you'll know exactly that, guys, what are the right questions to ask the local professionals in your area. Two other things I want to mention that are common questions. Number one, our firm, one of the things I do for my clients today that you guys, as part of the Retirement Free Masterclass, are going to be part of, is once a month, I do a Saturday webinar session only for my client. It's client only, guys, which all of you signing up for the masterclass are going to be considered clients, where all of my clients can come on and we talk about updates that are going on in the market, things that have pivoted. You can ask any clients of ours, hundreds of clients that will come onto that. Guys, that happens once a month minimum. So you're constantly, because again, there's no such thing as, I said, a one-time plan. Every month, we're going to be talking about what's going on in the economy, how that's relative to risk management, the way that the strategies that we promote are positioned, real estate, what we're seeing, the indicators. I think today, some of the interesting things that happened, we saw unemployment numbers again, over 1 million, a little over that, filing for unemployment still. And so guys, this 4 weeks goes from the foundation. If you're a beginner, you're going to learn asset protection, then growth assets, enhancing assets, creating your own income plan, and how to protect those assets, estate planning. You're also going to get the real estate training, guys, which is super awesome. I think it's time sensitive, but here's something that's really cool that we talk about. Number one, I help clients a lot when it comes to business ownership, understanding and working with tax attorneys and professionals on what type of structure is right for you. LLCs versus S Corps, C Corps. We're going to be covering that, when you should be thinking about these types of things. But we're also going to talk about emerging assets. What I mean by emerging assets is there's a lot of new asset classes. Here's a very popular one I don't think most people understand. That is the cryptocurrency world and Bitcoin. Most people are hearing things. They're not really sure what that is. Some people have no interest in it. Others don't have any idea what it is. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. The information that you don't know can hurt you in missed opportunity. So invest in your education. Yeah, you guys are going to love the 90-minute session, and you're going to be able to get some strategies right away that you're going to be able to test and verify yourself and make sure are accurate for you to reposition assets. And that's important because some of you have life going on right now and you need some answers. But this course is an investment in you becoming a financial expert. And so it's going to be Mondays and Wednesdays. The course is actually outlined, guys, and we're going to be doing deep dives. And at the end of those hour sessions, we're going to be doing Q&A. Okay? So prepare to really learn and be active in your financial education for the first time. And so I'm excited about that, guys. Again, I think the link has already been provided. I think it's www.retiredandfree.com. It should be already in the group. I'm super excited. Class kicks off Monday morning, guys. Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow where we're going to be continuing our Retired and Free Challenge week. But I wanted to let you guys know that you can take advantage of this now. And how many of you guys have children, grandkids, and how many of you wish that maybe you would have learned some of this stuff a lot, years ago? So one of the things that I've always done, I've kind of inherited my clients' children as clients. They're always like, hey, call Rami when you need some advice, or call Pedro. So guys, this course, you're going to be able to gift it to your kids as part of that one-time payment for $497. Okay, that is one of the best gifts that you could give, is financial education. So your kids are going to be able to log on and learn as well. And you know what that does? As a family, that equips them to be good stewards, not good spenders. It's not just about inheriting what mom and dad are going to leave behind, or what mom or what dad's going to leave behind. It's about becoming empowered to make financial decisions right now so that I can continue to steward what my parents worked for, because money and wealth are two different things. So we want the next generation to be involved and it's at no additional cost to them. And and again, that's from today till Sunday night, I believe we said, Pedro. And then guys, the next time we do this course, when you guys see this again in September, when you do see ads, it is going to be at $997. But this is the first Retired and Free class. So guys, I hope you picked up a lot today on some tax implications and strategies just right away to be aware of. Go ahead and go to the link. And I will see you guys all again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And Pedro, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, just some closing thoughts, guys. Well, the one thing that we ask for the fact that, as founding members, we're giving this to you at a huge discount. $997 would be an amazing deal. All we ask is that, that you really engage in the next 4 weeks, take action. And all we ask is that if you have an amazing experience with the masterclass, that if we ask you for a testimonial, you'll be willing to provide a testimonial, maybe a little video, because obviously this is a brand new offer for us. And so, that we're investing in you guys by giving it to you access for the cheapest price you're ever going to see it at. Our only ask is that you really lean into the material, take some action, and then if it's incredible, that we'll be able to ask you for a testimonial, and you'll have no problem, making a little video for us or writing up a little blurb. Because at the end of the day, guys, people are really looking for leadership in this area, and they don't really know who to trust. And so they can hear from me and Rami until the cows come home, but it's your testimonials, it's your stories, it's you sharing from your heart what this has meant to you. That's really gonna serve us being able to help more and more people. And so that's what that's my only ask of that. Not only do I think this will be a resource that can also help you grow and earn, additional income and grow your net worth, but I also think that the first thing that we like to do is also look at where we can help you start saving money right away. And when we price it for $497, I think one of the first things, Rami, we should do, I don't know what we can doing this, is let's help everyone actually understand the fees they're paying in their accounts. Because I think in probably 1 hour of having Rami and I break down how much fees you're paying in your accounts, I mean, we can this program will probably pay for itself in the first session. Just, the average, as you guys saw, the average mutual fund investor is paying close to 3% in fees. So do the math. Even if you only have $50,000, that's $1,500 a year in fees that you're needlessly paying. And this whole program is $497 for lifetime access, right? So we priced it this way, knowing that we're going to be able to help every single one of you get an immediate ROI on this, just in the money that you're going to save in probably fees, in mistakes. Many of you probably need other things done, like living trusts and wills and maybe some accounting and some CPA support. And Rami and I have built incredible networks with very value-aligned professionals that have offered to doing like incredible work for our community at prices that are half of what's out there in the market. So this will not just be a money maker. This will be a money saver. It's almost like a Sam's Club kind of model, where when you're a member of Retire and Free, you have access to our network of financial providers and other professionals at pretty discounted prices, because we're like, hey, we can bring you volume, we can help, and so this is going to be a very, very, I think, solid ongoing resource for you guys as you grow your businesses, as you grow in your income, as you grow in favor and wealth. This will be a consistent place to come back to when not just financial needs, but then, taxes, accounting, legal. And that really was our heart for this, was to make it almost a kind of a one-stop shop. But of course, one person can't be all things to all people. So we've been working to create a really small group of like-hearted people that don't just have the character, Character is important, but I know people that have great character and they mean well, but they're not the best in their industry. So to me, it's not just looking for good, nice people. It's looking for the right heart, the right character, but also for impeccable competency. And I believe we've assembled a small team of the absolute best in class on the tax side, on the legal side, where these guys have impeccable hearts and character, but also they really are top of the top in terms of wisdom and knowledge. And I think that's how it should be. I think in the kingdom, I think it should be not just the right heart, but the right heart with the best in class wisdom and the best people at what they do. And I'm excited for you guys to meet some of those folks as in, week 3 and week 4 of the masterclass. So hope you guys appreciate the invitation and love you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow, Rom. Same time, I guess, right? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock, guys. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. So
have a great day.
Look forward to it, guys. Have a great day.